Wow, did I get a lot of questions. To keep things a little bit simple, I've decided to put similar questions together and remove redundant ones. I may have forgotten to credit you for the ones that I removed, so I do apologize ahead of time. Now let's begin! What influenced you to become a writer? Generally, it's one of the few things that not only was I good at, but I knew I was good at. I've been writing stories and such since I was 6 years old, and it's something that has always had a lot of encouragement. It's more that there was nothing influencing me to become anything else. How would you rank the main 6 from your favorite to your least favorite? At some point in the past, I said that my favorite pony keeps changing as the characters continue to grow and develop, and it'll probably continue to do so in Season 4 onward. I'm going to divide them into tiers, cause they generally don't change. Tier 1 ponies are Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and Rainbow Dash. Tier 2 ponies are Rarity and Twilight. Tier 3 ponies are Applejack and, I guess, Spike. Where did your username come from? At first, I didn't plan on expressing myself a lot as I reviewed, but as time went on, I got more comfortable at what I was doing. That's where the mysterious part comes from anyway. There are a few things that I probably will never tell. What is your least favorite cartoon? You do know the kind of crap that I've seen, right? That's a really tough question. There are so many candidates. And that's just if we're talking about start-to-finish cartoons, not just eras of seasonal rot. I'd probably go with Alan Gregory. Entirely unlikable characters, hideous character designs, and it's just mean and rotten all the way through. The worst part is that it wants you to find those mean characters sympathetic. Another cartoon I really didn't like was The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, just because it was so gross and ugly, and really unpleasant. And of course there's Johnny Test, but I've already ranted on that enough. Bad cartoons tend to not make it past their pilot, and for good reason. So it's hard to pick a most hated cartoon, when most do have at least some redeeming value. Do you have a Pony OC, and what does it look like? Yes, I do. I made it for my Equestria Girls review thumbnail. It's a Pegasus because flight seemed like a really cool ability. As for the cutie mark, I do not remember why I chose a telescope. The cover was really an afterthought, and it's definitely not one of my better works. What do you think about Star Swirl the Bearded being King Sombra? Well, that's a new one. I thought the theory was him being Discord. Well, they're both unicorns. Celestia seemed to know who they both were. Neither of them understood the power of friendship, obviously. And they're both from a really long time ago. You know what? I'm gonna have to write a fanfic on this. As for now, I'll leave it at a could be. Who is your favorite pony? Right now, Fluttershy. She'll probably stay that way unless the writers keep turning her into a vindictive monster. Who is your most hated pony? Diamond Tiara. Who is your favorite pet? Despite his debut episode being, I'll be polite and say, underwhelming, I'm gonna have to go with Tank. If there's one thing May the Best Pet Win did correctly, it was make you feel for him while Rainbow pretty much abused him. What's your most hated pet? Philomena, that bird is a dick. What is your favorite other character? My favorite non-pony character would probably be Spike. He's the only one that we've really come to know. It's not him that tends to make his episodes bad, it's either sloppy writing or too many unanswered questions. What is your most hated other character? My most hated non-pet, non-pony character? They don't really get much of a reaction out of me either way, so I'm gonna go with a typical answer and say Gilda. Can you show us your face? No. Why do you guys keep asking me? At this point, you guys have already built up a picture of what I look like, and I do not want to shatter that illusion. It might be a stupid reason, but it's the reason I'm going with. Furthermore, I am really not good with actual face-to-face contact and conversation. It's ambiguity that helps me do this as well and as freely as I do. How did you get the idea of using Ace Attorney visuals and sounds in your videos? Really, my Bridal Gossip review. I do not like that review. The worst part of it is when at the end I seemingly failed the episode out of nowhere. I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't surprise anyone when I failed or passed an episode, and I thought that the best way to do that was with hit points. And they actually helped me get my points across a lot better. The Ace Attorney sound effects were just what I had on hand. Do you watch Shinjeki or Kyojin? No, I do not. Sorry. Do you like Pokemon? If so, you'll be choosing X or Y if either. Yes, I absolutely love Pokemon. I loved it ever since Yellow. And yes, I'll be buying either X or Y. It really doesn't matter which one I get. And before you ask, Cloyster is my favorite Pokemon. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Yes, I have one brother and 2 sisters. All of them are younger than me. They might come across this video at some point, so I'm not going to say anything about them. What is your favorite season of the year? Summer! I really hate the cold, so logically the season with the least cold would be my favorite. It also helps that there isn't any hay fever or leaves to clean up. To people who don't live in New England, those leaves may look really pretty, but over the years it gets old really quickly. Do you like Kingdom Hearts? I have never played Kingdom Hearts. It's on my video game bucket list though, and yes, I do have one of those. So I'll get around to it at some point. I gotta buy a PlayStation 2 or 3 first. What's your favorite animal? I don't really think about a favorite animal. I mean, besides the obvious. Giant squid. What do you hope that they do not do in Season 4? Remove Twilight's wings because that would make all this chaos be for nothing, kill off a character, try to do a romance again, do anything in the Animated Atrocities, and keep making Fluttershy more vindictive. What's the most annoying thing that MLP did? Snips and snails. Do you play any of the current gen consoles? If so, which one is your favorite? Does the 3DS count? Because that's the only one I've got. I don't exactly have a lot of money to burn on consoles, so I mostly play retro games. If I ever get around to buying a current gen console, it's kinda too soon to decide. The new generation is just beginning. Is there gonna be a moment in your vid where you show us your face? Not that I planned. Why are you people so curious? Do you plan on doing any reviews of a regular show episode? As in Animated Atrocity? My least favorite episode from that show is Do Me a Solid. If that's bad enough for one, sure. What made you decide to review other shows? I often compared The Splinter to Really Bad Things. Perhaps out of exaggeration, but still. People wondered what I was talking about. So I reviewed it. And then people asked me to review horrible episodes from other shows. And eventually, to spare my sanity, I threw good episodes into the mix as well. Besides that, I had to do something to fill the mini-year pony hiatus. This fandom is very productive, but there isn't nearly enough projects to last me reviews until November 23rd. What's your favorite thing about the Gregory Horror Show? The fact that it's a better Silent Hill movie than the Silent Hill movie? My favorite character is Judgment Boy. I just really like his concept.
Do you know who I am? They call me Judgment. Do you Judgment? Know who I am? Judgment? Judgment! Some coffee or some tea? Which one's it going to be? Your wife or your mother-in-law? Whose side do you take? If you had to choose, would you steal food or money? If both mom and dad are drowning, which one will you save?
The fact that he comes up with armor-piercing questions right on the spot, and he seems to know which answer you'll really pick. A close second, though, is TV Fish. A character that seems benign can actually be one of the most frightening, showing you memories that you don't really want to see. Is it easier to make a good live-action movie than a good animated movie? I think it's harder to make an animated movie in general. Besides the story, voice actors, and all that, you still gotta worry about getting the animation right. On top of that, animated movies tend to be rather thankless, especially if you're not aiming for kids. So there really isn't much incentive to create quality work, unless you're Disney or DreamWorks. I would say Pixar, but Cars 2, Brave, Planes, and Monsters University. All I could say is that I hope Inside Out turns out to be good, because both Cars 2 and Planes are in my future lineup. Do you think that Friendship is Magic is becoming even better? Honestly, I think it's decreasing quite a bit, and it became worse when Twilight became an alicorn. Firstly, Alicorn Twilight hasn't affected the show at all yet. Is the writing more lackluster? Season 3 took a lot of chances, I don't think anyone will argue with that. And not all of them worked. Some of them did. These writers seem like the types to learn from their failures, which is why I have little patience for people who say that every little thing sucks, because that's certainly not true. Is it decreasing? Like I said, Season 3 is about on par with the other two. Do you like Gravity Falls? Yes, I do like Gravity Falls. In fact, I find it pretty on par with Friendship is Magic. Gravity Falls doesn't hit the highs of Hurricane Fluttershy, but it doesn't hit the lows of Putting Your Hoof Down, or even Ghostbusters. It's a lot more consistent in its quality, I guess you can call it. I do like it. Is Putting Your Hoof Down the only episode of Friendship is Magic that you hate? No, I also hate Dragon Quest. The plot is paper thin, incredibly predictable, it ends on an anticlimax, and it seems to want to teach stereotypes. It teaches Spike that what he is horribly brutish, and only another type of creature can teach him out of those ways. And then there's this line.
I don't act like other dragons?
Oh, not even close.
But why would you want to, Spike?
Wow, you're not like your race, but why would you want to be like your race? And then they go on to teach that lesson because I have no fucking clue. Do you think there's anything good about Family Guy at all? Yes, it can be really funny and heartwarming when they aren't trying to teach lessons or insulting Disney. What do Seahorse Seashell Party, Not All Dogs Go to Heaven, and Family Gay have in common? They try to teach morals that fall flat on their ass. Even when they come close to getting it right in, say, Peter Assment, they still manage to fuck it up by the end. Do you plan on doing any more Family Guy episode reviews? Yes, Not All Dogs Go to Heaven is practically obligatory, as is Family Gay. There are a couple I've heard of, but I need to see. Like, I don't even know how to pronounce that one. And there's Be Careful What You Fish For, and Road to the North Pole. Yeah, there's a lot of material for me to work with when it comes to Family Guy. Have you ever watched Kid vs. Cat? No, I have not. Sorry. What do you think the CMC's cutie marks will look like? Kinda like this. Do you own any pony merchandise? No, I do not. I want to get some, but I don't live alone, and this whole brony thing is a secret to the people I live with. Hell, this 1,000 subscribers thing is a secret to them. How long does it take to make a video? For a 22-minute episode? Let's go through the process. The first thing I always do is just watch whatever I'm reviewing. I might take notes, I might not, but it has my attention. Then I watch it again while writing the script. That part takes about an hour because I'm constantly going back and forth between the script and the video. Recording the audio takes about another hour, and doing the actual editing takes about 2, so 4 hours from start to finish. I rarely do a whole review in one day, although I like doing this so time kinda turns into a blur. The Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra. I have not seen Legend of Korra yet, but I'm looking to get around to it. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be as good as the show Avatar, but it has to be worlds better than the live-action movie. Best fanfic you've ever read. I didn't get into fanfiction before Friendship is Magic, so my options are limited. I'm gonna have to say Silent Ponyville Reunion. It can make you question your own desires for vengeance. It starts out with a character you want to go through torment. A lot of torment. And then it puts him through that torment. More than you wanted him to go through. In essence, it manages to make a monster sympathetic. Character from the show that you have the most in common with. Fluttershy. Even now I suffer from major social anxiety, and our past has, similar issues. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is cerulean blue. What's your number 1 worst episode of a good cartoon? No episode has affected me like putting your hoof down. But other than that, there's the Daria episode Depp Takes a Holiday, which was incredibly stupid in a show that hates stupidity. Then there's Hank's Choice from King of the Hill, which was horribly put together. Bobby has an allergy to dogs. The dog doesn't want to go in his doghouse. So what's the solution? Put Bobby in the doghouse! Just stupid, stupid, stupid. And then there's the K&D episode where number 5's rival Heinrich. You know what? I won't spoil it, but it's the worst twist I've ever seen. Any of those can be considered the worst episodes of a good cartoon. It would take me a while to sort through everything. How many subs do you think you will get? All of the subs. I don't know. I didn't even think that I'd hit 50. What's the future of your channel? Will you be doing other series ever? Or maybe more movie reviews or fanfiction for MLP? Well, I'll be able to continue my Admirable animation and my Animated Atrocity series for a while, and when Season 4 starts again, I'll be back into reviewing MLP episodes. As for reviewing other series by an episode-by-episode basis, I don't really have anything planned, but I am open to suggestions. As for fanfiction, I'll definitely be reviewing Turnabout Storm when it's finished, and My Little Dash when they finish the movie thing, so you're not just staring at words for the whole video.